Hello, dear friends. Hope you are doing well. This video is truly for those people who are dealing with spelling mistakes, spelling difficulties in English. So, of course, writing something in a language which is not yours, it might be difficult, challenging. Of course, it is. But there are some rules and regulations, specifically in English language, which makes your path a bit smooth and which makes your work a bit easier. And we are going to dive into those rules. So we are looking at those rules, and by watching this video and learning these rules, actually you can solve 70 up to 80% of your spelling mistakes problems. Okay, so you don't need to spend time a lot writing and throwing the paper. No, you only need to keep these rules in mind, and that's all. Let's dive into the video. We will figure out more how do these rules work. Let's go. Okay, here we have the rules, guys. Some spelling rules, and the first one is I before E. I before E, except after C. It means most of the times, I comes before the letter E. And here we have some exceptions. If you have C and then you have I, the first E comes, then I comes, okay? And you have the letter C. So the first rule, we have example, achieve. Before we have I, then we have E. Achieve, believe, bear, bereave, okay? Hygiene, okay? Grieve, thief, friend, grieve, okay? And then we have chief. So fiend, patient, okay? Paris, okay? Priest. Now we have C. Look at the C. Earlier we had other letters, but we have C. When you have C first, then E comes, after C, E comes, then after E you have I. In earlier examples, you only had I first, then E. But when the letter C comes, first you have E, then you have I. Like ceiling, conceive, deceive, perceive, recept, receive, deceit, okay, conceit, okay. And in words that rhyme with this is hey, rhyme with this, the word hey, okay? The word hey. For example, we have nay, neighbor. In these words also, first E comes, then I comes, okay? Neighbor, freight, okay? Bake, slay, okay? Wait, wane, way, okay? And some other exceptions exist as well. We have, again, we have first E, then I. And you can pronounce this specific word either is also okay. Either is also okay, okay? So either, neither, vent, foreign, okay? Okay, the next word is forfeit, leisure, and you have weird, cease. Okay, some spelling rules. A final Y changes to I when an ending is added. By ending, I mean some suffixes, okay? For example, we have supply, So apply, the word ends in Y. So when you're adding a suffix to this word, so you have to change Y to I. Supply, supplies. Okay. Worry, worries, or worried. Marry becomes merrier, okay, or married. Married, yes. Here we do have some exceptions as well. When that ending is ing, you do not change Y. If the suffix is ing, so you cannot change Y. You put the exact word there and you add your ing form. Like we have crying, okay, crying, studying. You do not drop I, neither you change it. Okay, and when the I is preceded by a vowel, okay, when the I is preceded by a vowel, so you have to, you're not changing that. For example, obeyed, okay? So we have E here, E. Before Y, we have E. So you do not change. Before saying, you have A, which is a vowel letter. So after that, we have Y. So adding suffix or any other form, so you do not change Y, okay? Only if before Y we have vowel letters. Okay, here a silent E is dropped when adding an ending that begins with a vowel. So the final E, you have to drop the final, okay? For example, advance, advance. So you're adding ing, you have to drop the silent E, the last E, advancing. Surprise, surprising, okay? You see here, do not have any E anymore. But you have to keep E when the ending begins with a consonant. We have here an example. Here we have advancement, okay? The prefix that you're adding begins with a consonant. We have the prefix ment. So it starts or begins with M, which is consonant letter, okay? So here in this example, you're not supposed to drop E letter, okay? Exactly, you put E letter there, you're adding your suffix. Advancement, kindness, likeness, okay? So unless the E is preceded by a vowel, if the E is preceded by a vowel, so you have to drop that E. For example, argue, so we have the word ends in E. Before E, we have U. U is a vowel letter, okay? In here, when you're adding another suffix, so you have to drop the E. Argument, okay? Argument. True, truly. So adding a suffix seldom changes the spelling of a word. When you're adding a suffix, mostly you change the spelling of that word, okay? We have misspelled, okay? So unnecessary, okay? Dissatisfied, okay? Disinterested, okay? Misinformed, okay? You're changing the shape, the size, and actually the spelling of these words. We have spelled, misspelled, necessary, unnecessary. We form plurals in English by adding s or es, this word. So we have shoes, we have purchase, we have boxes, we have brushes, we have blitzes. Okay, so for words ending in a consonant plus y, change the y to I and then add es. For proper nouns, keep the y. Okay, for example, toy, toys. This rule goes with the consonant and vowel letter as well. If before y we had vowel letter, you do not change y. Directly add is. But before y you had consonant, you have to change the y to I, add es. Companies. Okay, this is kidneys. So here we have this is a proper noun. That's why we didn't change the y. When adding an ending to a word that ends in a consonant, we double that consonant when the ending begins with a vowel and the last syllable of the word is accented and that syllable ends in a single vowel followed by a single consonant. When adding an ending to a word that ends in a consonant, we double that consonant when the ending begins with a vowel and the last syllable of the word is accented and that syllable ends in a single vowel followed by a single word consonant. Okay, we have here, so we have admit, admit. Okay, so in order to add a suffix, so we have to double the last consonant. Admitted, admitted. Okay, admit is accented on the last syllable and the final consonant is preceded by a vowel. So we double the T for adding. For instance, we have ing, ed, admitting. Okay, admitted. We have another example. This is flap. Okay, this flapped, flap. So flap contains only one syllable, which means that syllable has to be accented. The final consonant is preceded by a vowel, so we double the final consonant, flapped or flapping. We doubled the last P. Counsel, counsel, and we have again this word contains two syllables and the final consonant is preceded by a vowel, but the word is accented on the first syllable, so we don't double the consonant before adding ing here. Counseling. So we do not double the last L here. Okay, there is another rule. When adding an ending to a word that ends in a consonant, we double that consonant when the ending begins with a vowel and the last syllable of the word is accented and that syllable ends in a single vowel followed by a single consonant. Here we are talking about single vowel followed by a single consonant. We have begin. Begin. So in order to add some suffixes or specifically ing, you can add the last n, beginning. Beginning. Begin contains two syllables and the final consonant is preceded by a vowel and the word is accented on the last syllable. Accented means stressed, okay? So we double the consonant before adding and ending. Beginner, beginning. Okay. When adding an ending to a word that ends in a consonant, we double that consonant when the endings begins with a vowel and the last syllable of the word is accented and that syllable ends in a single vowel followed by a single consonant. So despair contains two syllables and the final syllable is accented but the final consonant is preceded by two vowels. Okay, not a single vowel. So we don't double that final consonant when we add ing because we have two vowels. Okay, for a consonant, the last consonant, you do not double it. Okay. Well, friends, hope you enjoyed this video and hope you learned something out of this video. These rules are regulations for spelling in English are very useful, and if you learn them, please subscribe. For further videos like this, you can push the bell button, and I'll be sharing very nice information about some very unique rules for English language. How to learn this language fast, easy, without any problem. Bye-bye. Enjoy your life.